Today we will talk about XDC and the recent news around how that ties into the DTCC and their acquisition of Securrency, which is now referred to as DTCC Digital Assets. I talked about that a lot in my last video on this, but there was just too much information about that on its own to pack in, along with all of the things that tie XDC, XRP, and XLM together in this one announcement, and a couple of other things that came out recently as well. Now, I always make it a point to remind everybody that there is publicly available code to use XRP in the R3 Corda platform, and that all of the financial institutions that connect to Ripple in one way or another are very likely interested in being able to use XRP in the R3 Corda platform that connects into DTCC, which is what a lot of this content will revolve around. So, from X's in my future.patience, who puts out a lot of good information on XDC, a 3-day recap of announcements, and this was on December 12th of 2023. First, we have the DTCC acquires Securrency or Securrency, not too sure how it's actually said. SBI and Saudi Aramco partner up. So SBI, of course, is involved with R3, and that connects XRP and Ripple into the R3 Corda platform. And that is very, very interesting because Saudi Aramco is one of the largest, if not the largest, oil and gas company out there. And I have more information on that in this video. And then Enigio Trace Original gets integrated into Temenos Exchange. Not too sure about that one, but we can see that Enigio link to XDC and how it's involved in the trade finance end of things. And in this instance, it is mainly about the digitization and the tokenization of legally required and regulatory compliant trade finance paper documentation. So to remind everyone, the DTCC completed its acquisition of tokenization solutions Securrency on December 11th of 2023, and I actually put out a video a while back talking about XDC, XLM, and the DTCC. But the important thing here is actually at the bottom regarding DTCC's Project Ion, which is basically tokenizing equities. I don't know why I had a hard time on that. And that runs on R3's Corda platform. Now, in 2023, DTCC launched a permissioned blockchain test, which runs on IBM's Hyperledger, and this is one sub-platform, the Ethereum compatible chain. That's not the important part. The important part is that if you see Hyperledger, that immediately links back to IBM. And in my mind, IBM immediately links to IBM WorldWire, which runs on XLM. So that is always a very big connection to XLM. So as far as currency goes, I touched on this in my last one, but as you can see, there are connections to XLM and XRP, and XLM is actually an investor as well, and they have some technology that actually ran on XLM, and well, it at least used XLM. But this whole company, which has now been called DTCC Digital Assets, connects investors or innovators to financial networks via decentralized services and facilitates automated regulatory compliance and technology for blockchain and unlocks liquidity. Now, that word right there reminds me of Ripple's ODL, which is on demand liquidity, which was basically a legal concept in order to work around the SEC's drawn out lawsuit that was claiming that XRP itself, the asset itself, was a security. And that's just not true. An asset itself is not a security. So this is a recap of that. If you're interested in that, I run through this in my previous video, so I would suggest that you go check that out. But just to remind everybody about this DTCC acquisition, this company moved 2.5 quadrillion in 2021 from over 150 countries and territories, valued at 72 trillion, and that was for custody and asset servicing for securities issued. So here is that is the Anigio Trace original. Make your original documents safer, faster, more sustainable STs, and cost efficient. The Trace Original platform is a solution for creating and managing digital original documents with all useful properties of paper, but in an electronic form. This means that you can maintain a completely digital process for original documents with all of the security, efficiency, and convenience of having it in an electronic form. So as we have touched on a lot of times, this the main, well, it's not a main thing, but the important part is in the trade finance industry itself, with the electronic bills of lading, which is being pioneered with the UN MLETR, which is the model law for electronic trade regulation, I think. But it also involves things like finance and certificates as well, and things like insurance policies, which are all involved in the trade finance industry. So here is more on XRP and XLM. So these events never make it out to the MSM, yet people say XRP and XLM are MSM. Clearly, Ripple and Stellar are not going away. Largest players in the game, including DTCC, and no MSM coverage. So this is talking about a conference or a conversation that involved people like BlackRock, DTCC, Citibank. Interestingly enough, you have Hedera in there as well. And here were some people involved in that. So you have someone from Ripple right here, which is obviously XRP. And there are a lot of others involved in this. So, like, for instance, you have XLM, XRP, and the DTCC. This has been in the works for quite some time. So also remember that XLM is a partner of Securrency with very large players like Wisdom Tree, and I don't even have a chance on that because that's ST after ST. The DTCC, who settles 2.4 quadrillion worth of securities per year, has now bought currency. So here is a list of their partners, which includes XLM right over there. So another big thing around the DTCC and Securrency, which ties together XRP, XLM, and XDC, is the SBI Holdings and Saudi Aramco bit. Now, let's get more into that because it is very, very important. I will start with this clip right here.
Aramco is the biggest company in market value and is the second largest in profits in the world. The Saudi oil giant has announced a record profit of $161.1 billion. That's more than 46.5% rise compared to last year.
So Ripple is deeply connected to a lot of very large people like SBI and Aramco. If we go back to this, it is obvious that that SBI R3, SBI Holdings, SBI Ripple Asia goes right into Ripple and XRP, and then of course R3, DTCC, and XDC. If we go to the Ripple map as well, we can see DTCC in here, and I don't think that I've seen Saudi Aramco on here individually, but we do have some more information on that. So so all of these guys teamed up to extend crypto from Japan to Saudi Arabia through SBI Middle East, and that is in this post by XRP drops here. So SBI Holdings, Japan's largest cryptocurrency financial group, which is a partner of Ripple and a large investor in them as well, and Saudi Aramco, the world's second largest company by market cap. Ripple, major partner, SBI teams up with second largest global company. So if we go to the announcement here, this is from December 11th as well, and it's all about promoting digital assets and new companies within this space. Now, I have recently talked about how XLM is involved with tokenizing different types of transactions within the U.S. and Canadian oil and gas industry, and this sounds like they are cooking up something very comparable, and or Saudi Aramco is trying to invest in different kind of tokenizing platforms and tokenizing technologies that can help them with a number of things in the oil and gas industry. So here's a little bit more that was interesting from Sean S90X, who puts out a lot of very interesting information as well. He is saying that gold from HSBC and Medico, which is involved with Ripple as well, plus oil by way of Saudi Aramco equals liquidity, ODL. As the world is moving away from completing trade and oil and gas transactions with the USD, these kinds of partnerships become more and more interesting. And I have talked about that a lot in the past, how Ripple and even XLM are working with a lot of the BRICS countries who want to move away from the USD more and more, or even outright. So I did a video a while back about how two different companies are actually tokenizing gold with XDC Network platforms and partners. HSBC is one, and I believe that Comtech was the other one that I talked about there. So this kind of partnership will become more and more interesting, not only for XDC, but for XRP as well at this point, and even XLM, because they have actually gotten involved with tokenizing things in the North American oil and gas industry, and XRP and XLM both tie back into the same core people who actually kicked off each of those companies, who tie back into the PayPal mafia, of which old Elon Musk is a founding member. So here is a really good deep dive on the Saudi Aramco and SBI partnership for digital asset investments from Tokenizer. So we've seen SBI's support of regulated DLT for financial technology in their joint ventures with XRP and XDC. On the other hand, Saudi Aramco is the third largest company by market cap, only behind Apple and Microsoft. Saudi Aramco is a nationally owned oil and gas company that has a market cap of 2.139 trillion. They are a very, very powerful force and powerful driver in the Saudi Arabian economy. They have the second largest proven crude oil reserves. I come out of the oil and gas industry, and an interesting point here is that the U.S. Has one of the largest, if not the largest, proven natural gas reserves as well. So that is always an interesting point. So let's see, if we review SBI, we've got XRP and SBI. They have formed a joint venture in Japan called SBI Ripple Asia, which is over here. And they aim to provide RippleNet related services to financial institutions in Japan, South Korea, and certain Southeast Asian countries. Additionally, SBI Remits now expanded their work with Ripple by allowing XRP bridge services to the Philippines, Vietnam, and Indonesia as well. So now we've got XDC and SBI. That is a newer thing, but XDC had expanded to Japan by way of SBI's VC trade arm to bring the ecosystem into SBI's crypto and digital asset focused department. Then in September, we saw SBI and one of XDC's core applications and TradeFinex officially form a joint venture, which is very interesting because TradeFinex is heavily involved in the trade finance industry and ties into SBI, which then goes all the way back into XRP as well here. And that can also connect into Swift and R3 Corda and a number of other things. So if we continue, while the focus of the partnership between Saudi Aramco and SBI is focused on the investment end of the digital asset space, it does open a lot of doors. As a primary distributor of resources, they have a significant role in the trade finance space. One has to wonder how Saudi Aramco could turn something like TradeFinex to further assist with expanding their presence even more, especially as Saudi Arabia is working into BRICS and how those countries are trying to move away from completing different kinds of transactions, such as for oil and gas and different kinds of commodities, not in the USD, and a platform that can handle those in a crypto like XDC can essentially make international trade a lot easier, or perhaps enhancing efficiency by cutting paper by using Nigio, or efficiency in payments through bridging with Impel, which if we look down here, that is the ISO 222 messaging bridge, and that helps R3 Corda and the XDC network on the financial transaction messaging compliance part. So as Saudi Aramco is in Saudi Arabia, we know that their neighbor country, the UAE, is also a prime oil exporter along with a prime adopter of DLT. TradeFinex is also conveniently headquartered in the UAE. They also have received a VARA license, which means that they are quickly becoming one of the largest hubs for DLT adoption. SBI seems to be quite involved in the DLT space beyond what they were even doing over the last few months. So these SBI headlines are all in the past 4 months. Expansion of XRP bridging, TradeFinex joint venture, Circle USDC partnership, and I can't say this, chartered $100 million fund. And now we add Saudi Aramco to that list. So here is one more thing about trade tech, which is another thing in the XDC ecosystem, which is a very powerful trade finance organization that heavily involves the individual Andre Casterman, who is tied into a number of things, and trade tech is working to tokenize different kinds of transactions in the trade finance industry. But let's see what this announcement is about.
So we use trade tech for quite a lot of our either trade finance or other investments we make, where we wish to have a simplified format that our investors want to buy. So the note platform that we can use through trade tech, the task platform, is ideal for that. So we've been using that for over a year now, 18 months, and it's going very, very well. So we expect to increase our usage of that quite substantially over the next year, because in a sense it's ticking all the right boxes for us. Operationally, it's simple, and we like the team, which always helps as well. At the moment, we use it in a relatively simplified format where we're predominantly looking to translate a product into a note format that our investors need in order for them to buy. We'll probably be looking to use the more complex side of the product in terms of being able to monitor investment performance and all the, I guess, the more sophisticated side of tech that trade tech are able to offer. So we expect to be able to pivot into that side of things in the next 12 months.